What's up and welcome back to the second channel. I told you guys I'd be posting a lot more on the second channel and I kind of lied. I ended up not posting for I think 3 straight weeks, but last week you guys got a second channel video of me going on a little adventure with Gabe Farrell to Tennessee, a place I never thought I'd go, and it was very fun. And well, today's a big one. Today's one that all of us have been wanting to have happen. In today's video, we're taking this car to Hurricane Motorsports to throw it on a dyno and see just how much power this car makes now on E40 with the custom Stage 4 tuning tune. Should make roughly 700 to 750 wheel horsepower, which is absolutely insane. And before, this car made 530 wheel horsepower with just some bolt-ons and no tune. However, before we can get to that, if you haven't already noticed, I have a fresh setup. And we're gonna put it on the car today and see how it looks. I have coilovers from Keys Motorsports I need to put on to make this setup really look good. It might look a little wonky because the fitment's gonna be super aggressive while the car is not that low, but we're gonna run it today anyway. So what we have in front of me right now are my brand new Divine Design custom forged wheels with the beading and knolling to help the tire sit better and just help with overall flow with how the tire sits on the wheel. I don't know, it's a lot of technical stuff, but let's just say this is a lot better than what a lot of other companies do. So Divine Design, if you want to get your own set of custom forged wheels, but yeah, these are gonna look mental. A color I haven't done yet, we did this satin silver on the Corvette, we did a gloss black on the Lambo, and this is a liquid light gunmetal. I did a dark gunmetal on my Audi S4 when I had it, but I think the light gunmetal will look super good on the G82 with the Tanzanite blue. And then we have fresh TPMS sensors from no one other than Keys Motorsports, and they're gonna be wrapped in fresh Continental tires. Continental is the sponsor of all the channels, the second channel, main channel, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, Continental has us covered. So we got the brand new Continental Extreme Contact Sport 2s. So these are gonna grip really good, even though it is super cold out. We are gonna end up putting the stock wheels back on very soon because snow is supposed to fall any day now, but I still wanna rock this setup at least for a few days. Now, while we're waiting on Elite Mobile Tire, you might notice a bunch of boxes right here, and this is just the beginning. We have a ton of stuff for Vlogmas, and I'm just gonna say this now, this Vlogmas is going to be way, way, way crazier than last Vlogmas. Probably because we have 2 more, maybe 3 more extra cars, but the mods are just way, way cooler, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Last year, I made videos on just, say, the yellow M4 getting snow tires put on it. We don't have time to make a video on snow tire mods. You guys got kind of mad because you're like, tires aren't a mod. Well, we're still putting snow tires on all the cars and we're still gonna enjoy them in the snow. But no video this year is gonna be dedicated to tires because it's gonna be that crazy. We have some stupid mods on the way and I'm excited for you guys to see them. And since you're on the second channel, I did sneak peek some stuff on Snapchat, so if you want to follow the Snapchat, it's free, and also Snapchat apparently does pay creators, so maybe one day from you hitting the free follow button, I'll be able to make some income from it, and then it's just going to be dumped back into the cars like everything else. But since I sneak peeked some stuff on Snapchat, I'm going to sneak peek some stuff on here. Which box do we open first, boys? I think the closest. That one. All right. I don't know how many boxes I'm gonna get into before Chanson gets here. One of the biggest sponsors in this series is going to be Keys Motorsports. So Brian over at Keys sent me a shirt, XL, an M4 competition shirt, so that's pretty sick. This stuff I didn't even ask for. Keys Motorsports is just this cool. You know what this is? This is a work blanket. So you put it over your fender, and basically when you're working on your car, this felt stops your car from getting scratched from you leaning over it, and also getting like dirty grease prints if your car's PPF'd. So that is super sick. Okay, this is where stuff starts to happen, I think. Flat pieces. Okay. Oh, no way. No way he sent me this. This is something I've always wanted, and I think about it, and I never buy it because I just end up dealing. But, yeah. This is a wheel holder. So when your car doesn't have a stud conversion kit and you're trying to hold the wheel up and then get a lug bolt in, it's very, very difficult. So you put this in, and this basically holds your wheel while you put the other 4 lugs in, pull this out and put the 5th one in. That is super sick. This is literally Christmas. Keys Motorsports do not have these. Oh, okay. This is part of the vlogmas series. Something I've been wanting because it looks so freaking sick and it's obviously safe. A fire extinguisher. But this isn't just a fire extinguisher. This actually bolts on the seat on the rail at the floorboard. So it's super sick, and then it's like a quick release like that. But that is super cool. We got 2 of them. There's 2 in this package. Keys, license plate cover, and I hear the truck. All right, I gave him the rundown of what we're wanting to do, but look at this. Keys also sent us microfiber towels, like the nice ones. I'm hyped. Favorite part about this whole process, when Elite Mobile Tire puts the car on all 4. I've never seen this done before until I met these guys, and honestly it looks kind of cool. Car's just floating, no wheels on anymore. Now while they're putting on the wheels and tires, I'm going to continue to show you some vlogmas stuff, because I can't wait to look at this stuff, and also it's gonna take probably 10 to 15 minutes for them to finish up. So this is one of the coolest things from Keys, in my opinion. Yes, we're gonna get a lot of performance stuff, but this visually is gonna make the engine bay look crazy. We have matte carbon covers now. This is something nobody else does. Keys actually made these himself. I don't know if that means like he bought the carbon piece and then made it matte instead of gloss or what, but nobody really does this aside from Keys. And I had to do it when I found that out. We have a matte carbon engine bay cover and a matte carbon ECU cover, and then there's a bunch of other stuff. I don't know if it's in these boxes that I got from Keys as well for vlogmas that is also matte carbon. So the engine bay is gonna be all matte. It's gonna be really freaking cool. And this is something else we got from Keys as well. Braided brake lines. So if you know anything about the G82 and the little fiasco we had in Monterey Car Week, the brake line popped on us and we had to get one off of an F30, I believe, from Naughty Auto Parts to make it work. And the car does brake fine, but these are gonna be a huge upgrade. So Keys Motorsports, you guys are a huge part in this video and I'm so thankful. This vlogmas series is gonna be insane just from Keys alone. And Sencal Motorsport, they're even bigger in this series, if you could believe that. And here is another piece of matte carbon. This is the part that goes over the radiator. When I said the whole engine bay is gonna be carbon, the whole engine bay is gonna be carbon, matte carbon. So thank you so much, Keys. This is wild. They made a great product with this one. Like I said, I've never seen anybody else do this aside from Keys. Looks crazy. Okay, now in this box is something not for vlogmas. This is for something else that is pretty crazy. Coming to the main channel very soon. Didn't think I'd ever do this, but I did do it. I can't show you what this is, and this isn't even the crazy part about what I'm talking about. There's something else in the works. You might know by now or you might not, but I can't show you yet. Same goes for what's in here. If you can guess what's in here and everything, you're amazing. There's 2 different parts in here, not just one. So yeah, and it's from Sencal Motorsport. That's the only hint I'm giving you. It's from Sencal. This is something I actually already have, but I'm saying too much. And now this isn't a vlogmas thing. This is something we're gonna be doing when we get back from SEMA. We have Valvetronic mufflers. They're gonna go on the Trackhawk. So these are gonna go on the stock system to make the system get a little louder. We might also delete the resonators. Not quite sure yet, but we're gonna put this on the stock system with these. These are the Valvetronic carbon fiber tips. We're gonna go full Grail on the Trackhawk, but for the meantime, we're gonna run Valvetronic on the muffler section, and then we're gonna get our Cook's headers put on when we're back from SEMA as well. Valvetronic and Grail, they're competitors, yes, but they also kind of coexist because there are so many different cars to go around, and Valvetronic and Grail offer 2 completely different sounds. Obviously, this is not a full system, and I love Grail. Grail is one of the best companies out there, and so is Valvetronic. So we're gonna give them both some love. We're gonna try this until my Grail system gets here. It's in production right now, and then once the Grail system gets here, we'll swap it out, which also goes into vlogmas. We're gonna put on the Grail system during vlogmas on the Trackhawk. That's the main goal. And we're also gonna be changing up the G82's exhaust system. Well, it looks good in the air. That's a plus. Look at that. Yeah, those look sick. And Key's got us the gray TPMS sensors, so that looks perfect. The flow's super good. Black will look good too, but I think the gray looks super cool. Dog. Oh, that fitment's perfect. That fitment is perfect. I don't like running a ton of camber on my cars, so when we get the alignment after we do the coilovers, we'll probably pull almost all camber, have perfect grip, and also it's going to just look really good. Yo, yeah, that was the move. Definitely the move. Obviously, it's a little bit more tucked because this side is still in the air, but yeah, that looks cool. What do you think, Ray? Do you like it? Oh, you can't really see it from here, can you? All right, you ready to look at this? This is my favorite angle because the front end is still a little tall. Oh my gosh. Doesn't it look crazy? That looks so freaking good. Turn on the lights for the full effect. Yeah. Even without coilovers, this car looks mental. I can't believe it. I think it looks crazy. It looks really freaking good. And I was talking about this, and I know a lot of you guys thought it was crazy, but I said that the silver wheels would make the blue look more blue because Tanzanite blue is a very dark color, almost black. And look at that. I think it makes the blue pop so much better. Oh. Now, I have some bad news. I said in the beginning of this video that we're gonna dyno the car. No, we're not gonna dyno it anymore. Sadly, a few of the guys at Hurricane Motorsports called out sick, and me getting thrown on a dyno is not necessarily a priority. It was kind of a last minute idea. So we're gonna do that when we get back from SEMA. However, in this video, I'm going to go over everything I spent on this car to make this car perfect from when it was wrecked to now. I haven't broken down the numbers yet. We're gonna go basically from the auction cost to registration to fees down to literally the bolts and get a final number on how much I spent on my wrecked Tanzanite Blue G82 competition with the white interior and the carbon bucket seats. I think it's going to be a lot higher than I was expecting it to be. I'm guessing it's gonna be around 45, and I'm hoping it's around 45, but if it's in the 50 mark, I am going to be disappointed. But at the same time, still, I got a G82 for over 10 grand cheaper than what these are going for. Yes, this is high mileage, but even a 60,000 mile G82 is still going for a pretty penny. Break down those numbers, let's appreciate the car one more time, and then we gotta do one thing on this car before we can break down those numbers, and that's fix arguably the last thing wrong with this thing, and that is the wheel bearing. The wheel bearing is bad. It's been pretty bad, and it's officially very bad, so we're gonna change out the wheel bearing on the G82, and then we can go over the numbers. Now, the new wheel bearing that I got is from no one other than the company that probably helped me out the most with this rebuild, Euro Tuning. Huge shout out to Euro Tuning. I've probably said a lot of companies in this video, and that's because to make a business like this profitable, or at least even enough to be able to afford a house and a dog and support my wife, it takes a lot of companies to be involved, because not every company can get you stuff at discounts because you bring in views for their companies or anything like that. Not every company can do that a lot. So sometimes it takes a lot of different companies in play. So yeah, kind of a little rant on why I say so many companies, especially in the second channel, because like I said, more down to earth, more honest. I'm very honest in the main channel too, but I mean, like, I wouldn't go on and on about all the small details, I guess. So that being said, let's move this car into the backyard, get cranking on this wheel bearing. The wheel bearing initially when this car got crashed was not bad, but over time of driving the car, since the driver's side did get a ton of impact, you start to notice things more. There's creaks, the rotors feel warped, or the car will pull to one side, and yeah, it's just not right. All right, now this is our fresh wheel bearing. Look at this, brand new, not a speck of rust on that thing. And basically, the reason we're changing this out is because, as you can see, it does move, right? And well, there are little tiny balls and grease and everything in there. And what happens is when this car got into its accident, there was a lot of impact on the driver's side. So all those little balls and bearings and grease got hit very hard. Now, initially, the car felt completely fine on that side for the wheel bearing. But after a few thousand miles of being driven with a bearing that had a lot of impact, now it's starting to show that it needs to be replaced. So that's why we're doing this. We got a new wheel bearing, new bolts. Let's get this thing up in the air. We gotta get the wheel off, we gotta get the caliper off, we gotta get the rotor off to then expose the wheel bearing. Now there's also another thing you might notice. right here, listen. Hear how the pad is lightly grazing the rotor. Now, if you go over here and do it on this side, it's like a pulsing. So it's very unlikely for a rotor to get bent. That's what I've heard from a lot of people that have rebuilt cars and have had direct accidents on a side where a wheel has been hit. It's usually not the rotor that's bent. However, if you've been following the channel for a while, you will know that the F82, when it got its accident, it never got fixed until I found out on the dyno, but the hub itself was bent slightly, which could also be our problem. So hoping maybe that sound goes away of the pulsing of the rotor hitting the pad. If it does, then the hub could have also just been bent. But if it doesn't go away, then it could also be the rotor technically, but it's very, very unlikely, like I said. So if it is the rotor, it's not a huge deal because we have new rotors and pads for Vlogmas that's gonna go on this car. And this car is not really gonna be driven that much from now until Vlogmas. So either way, this side is gonna be 100% perfect at some point in time this year. Okay, so I got one bolt loose, big brain. Instead of trying to figure out how to take this off to get this wheel bearing off, just turn the wheel. Oh yeah. Oh, I see. That's what you freaking wanted, huh? All right. I need a little pull back. Ah! The lift is just high enough to where it's awkward. Oh, it's coming. Woo! It's out. Okay, that's good. Look at how sexy this is. And honestly, that feels so much better. This is just very, it has a lot of play in it. Put it simply, it has a lot of play in it. So now, let's go ahead, put the rotor back on, slide the pads back into the caliper, slide the caliper on, and wheel. That's it. The wheel bearing was bad. That literally just confirms it. It is evenly, we're getting new rotors anyway, but still, we don't need them because it was the wheel bearing the entire time. It must have been bent because now it's like evenly distributing the caliper to the rotor, if you could hear that. This car's about to run really, really good. I'm excited. Let's get this wheel on. Actually, I lied. We're gonna take this car for a drive first and then break down everything that's into it from its wrecked state to now, because tonight is Halloween night and we got a bunch of candy. My wife thought it'd be a cool idea to be the house that has the full-size candy bars, so we can't not hand them out or else I'm gonna eat them all and get fat. So let's go for a drive first and then break down the price of this car while handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. I'm excited. It's gonna be a whole new feeling. At least I hope it will be. You guys won't notice anything. The car will still be stupid fast like always, but I will notice a good difference. Also, whenever I would crank the wheel on this car before, you would hear it's like weird whirring sound from the driver's side. And now that the new wheel bearing's on, gone. So, solve a lot of issues. If you guys ever want anything from Euro Tuning for your car, especially maintenance stuff, go check them out because that made a giant difference. Okay, the wheel bearing feels great, but holy, these tires, it's 46 degrees out right now. No tire would grip right now, especially with 750 wheel. That was a little sketchy. Yeah. Oh, this braking feels a million times better. It feels like it always should have felt. Holy. Yep, that was the move. Yeah, that was it. That was our issue all along, folks. Wheel bearing. Make sure you check them or else you're not gonna have that good of a day. But I did see trick-or-treaters, so we need to hurry up and get back home so my wife doesn't deal with little kids asking for candy alone, because They move in packs. Yep. The days of racing are over, folks. Until next year. At least low mile per hour racing. Oh, cop. Yeah, we should be fine. He wasn't shooting radar, so we're chilling. And we weren't speeding. We never speed. Okay, I lied. We're not going back home just yet. The wife wants Panda Express, so she's in the car while I drive like a maniac. And I will say this. Yes, the car still drives like a boat because there are no front sway bars. Whoa, that was a green 765 LT. I've never seen a green 765 LT in this area, and one just drove that way.
We're not chasing it, right?
Heck no, we're not gonna be able to catch him. But I will say this, the new wheel bearing, I feel like helped the steering wheel feel. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it feels like it did. And also, it could be the new tires. The new tires feel really good. Yes, they're kind of struggling for grip because they're more of a summer-oriented tire, but they do still feel good. But I'm also working with Continental Tire to get some snow tires on the cars so that all of us are safe this winter. Because spinning out all the time like that is not very good when there's ice on the ground. Does that scare you?
A little bit.
Ready, launch. So easy. Every day it gets colder and colder, and it gets easier and easier to do that. Try not to curb the new wheels. The orders were Beijing beef, orange chicken, and chow mein for me, and the wife got orange chicken, beef, and broccoli and chow mein. I don't know why, I don't like the beef and broccoli that much here. The Beijing beef is just, it hits. Also, life hack to never curb your Divine Design wheels, at least on the G82s. You have the all-around cameras with a 360 view. That way you can see just how close you're getting to the curb without touching it. Even half throttle on E40, this thing moves. That wasn't even half, that was a quarter. It's not faster than a Lambo by any means, but it gets down. I'm very curious to see how fast this car will be compared to the yellow M4 with its 4N motor. Because the 4N motor is going to be like a track-oriented motor, while this is just still a stock S58 with the twins. So, I don't know, we'll see. All right, a bunch of trick-or-treaters and Panda Express later. I now have the exact numbers. How much it was to get this car back on the road. Now this number is going to be this dog has separation issues. As I was saying, this number is going to be excluding mods. So it's going to be excluding the front lip, the carbon pieces, all that stuff. It's only the nitty gritty, the actual parts to get this thing back on the road. Now also, I'm going to give you two numbers. One number is going to be everything full retail price. The next number is going to be what I actually paid. So this is the second channel. I'm going to be transparent as I can with you guys. However, I am not going to disclose what parts were sponsored and what's not, just because I don't really think that's like respectful, I guess. Obviously, you guys will be able to tell within the videos what's sponsored, what's not, but you won't be able to tell by how much, I guess. So I'm gonna give you two numbers, what I actually paid and what retail is, but what I actually paid in retail, the difference is not actually as much as you think, because with rebuilding cars, you're gonna be buying a lot of OEM parts, and that's stuff that other companies do not create, right? So if they don't create it, they can't really justify giving you it for free. Some companies can if they're really big and they can understand that, but majority of the time you can't. And I'm gonna be honest, all the OEM stuff, as far as the door and the fenders are concerned, I paid full retail price for used parts. All right. Enough yapping, let's get into it. So, the car, after fees and getting it shipped to my house, $40,305. Then there's Val. Val was the gentleman that helped paint this car. Now Val is not done. We still have to wet sand it, which is gonna be probably a little bit more money, but we're not gonna count that in this. But he's the one that helped paint it. He's the one that got the apron panel aligned because if you guys know, the strut tower did get damaged, so we had to replace it. Val was the man. He was 1,500 bucks. The apron panel was 300 bucks. The door was $870. The fender was $677. And then we got the struts. 2 struts, even though there was only one that was damaged. Originally, I bought an X-Drive strut off of a friend's of a friend, and he gave me a good deal. It was 125 bucks, and it didn't work. So I had to get another one for $224. And then we got the wheel, the OEM wheels that are not on the car anymore because we took those off. I had to get a new wheel because the one in the accident was damaged, and that wheel was 580 bucks off eBay. And then I got the wheels all repaired, curb rashing fixed, and powder coated gloss black. That was $499. Then we got the top hat. There is a top hat on the strut that basically has a bearing in there to help the strut move when you're turning the wheel. And that was completely destroyed, so I had to buy a new one from FCP Euro. That was $194. Then we got paint supplies, panel bond, glue, everything to prep and get this car painted and fix the strut tower. All that was $293. And then we need a special tool. I forget what it was, but that was $22. Tires were $1,000. Wheel bearing, $458. Control arms, sensors, tie rod, bolts, everything that you would think of that's small, gaskets, you name it, to basically rebuild this whole side. That was a grand total of $1,479. And then there was the auxiliary coolers. That was $590 because the OEM one got destroyed on this side. And then we got coolant and oil change stuff. I don't know the exact number on that, but I just put 300 bucks. And then the alignment, also don't remember what that was, but I just put down $200. And then there is a small thing I'm missing. The level sensor in the back, it was like 20 bucks. So I guess add 20 bucks to this total, or I'll just do it. We have a grand total. Rebuild this car from wrecked to what it is now, a functioning G82 rear wheel drive competition with carbon buckets. The carbon buckets alone are 10 grand is what I've heard. $49,616, where you could probably get a clean title one for around mid 60s with the same miles and roughly the same spec. So I mean, at the end of the day, we're saving money. And it was a really cool experience, and honestly, I would do it again. It wasn't the hardest rebuild in the world, but it was a rebuild, and it kind of got my foot in the door for more. So I am very pleased with that number, but again, that is not exactly what I paid. I did get some discounts. So what I actually paid, $46,000. That's what I actually paid to get this car rebuilt. Honestly, not a huge difference, like I said, but again, I saved probably around $3,400 bucks. So $46,000. However, I did say I wanted to be at around 45, and there is a way I can get there. This door is damaged, yes, and it was damaged beyond what I wanted to fix it as, but there could be someone that's really good at aluminum welding, and they could get that fixed. The fender, maybe not, but again, I could sell the fender for maybe like 50 bucks, 100 bucks. So, I mean, I could sell those two and the strut and probably recoup around $500 to maybe $1,000 because there are some other parts I could probably sell, like the other OEM auxiliary cooler, if that's even a thing people buy. So, yeah, could recoup it. Am I gonna try? Maybe, but again, I am very happy even with 46. So, yeah, there it is, all in a nutshell. This is a lot of car for even 46 grand. Like for $46,000, yeah, sure, it has a branded title, whatever. This is a crazy car for that much. Like we're peeling out in 4th gear, even when it's 70 degrees out. I've tried. Like this car is amazing and I am super happy with it. But I am also going to talk to you guys a little bit. I have been very freaking busy. Some of you guys were commenting in the video I posted today on the Lambo rear bumper, and you guys were saying, what happened to weekly uploads? And well, the thing of the matter is, life is very, very busy for me. And after doing the Supra giveaway, I have been nonstop answering emails, getting orders out. Luckily, all orders are done now. I just waiting on a few orders to ship out because I'm having issues with people's addresses because they didn't put the right ones in. But aside from those, everything else is gone. And that's why I'm starting to grind videos again. Now, I do want to do more giveaways in the future like I've talked about, but I need to figure out a better system. And luckily, I have met some really good people, and I think I'm gonna be able to find that system, and you guys won't wonder where I'm at anymore. But until that happens, I'm gonna keep grinding, and I'm sorry if I've kind of fallen off from posting. Not really fallen off, because honestly, you guys, the views are still doing really good for me, and that's all thanks to you guys. I like that I'm actually putting out videos that you enjoy. And if I'm ever not, tell me. Give me video ideas if you want to see something else. Comment down below, because I read all the comments, especially on the second channel. You guys are the reason I'm where I'm at today, and it's very, very cheesy to say, and I think every YouTuber says it's very cheesy to say too now. But yeah, looking back even a year and a half ago, and I can't believe we're here. So, and with that being said, I am now going to end off the second channel video. It was kind of everywhere and in one place at the same time. One place is in the G82. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the bell. And like I said, drop comments on videos that you want to see, especially on the second channel. I want to do more POV drives, more Q&As and stuff like that. But I think those might have to wait at least for a couple videos because I have some lined up, especially dynoing this thing. That's going to happen right when we get back from SEMA. I'll see you guys next time. Drive safe.